Hello vinyl community, I'm back with you for another Tales of the Deadwax. For this episode I'm going to go on a different slant, and I'm not going to be talking about inscriptions at all. I'm going to be talking about a gauge for how quiet your pressing might be. Now, to kick things off, what I'm going to show you here is a lacquer. So this is a lacquer. Lacquers, when they're produced, they are 16 inches in diameter. This one just happens to have been cut down to 12 inches, so it's playable on a regular record player. But this is Shelly Man and His Men, the West Coast Sound. And you can see now the lacquer is put on aluminum disc, and you can see how it's kind of flaking off there. But you know, one gauge of how quiet your pressing is going to be is by looking at the Deadwax interior. Now, this lacquer has a smooth surface, and you know, you don't want any imperfections on the lacquer. So what you should be seeing here that I'm showing you is a smooth mirror-like surface. I mean, this thing should be plain. This lacquer was used by Classic Records, and I don't know if they actually produced this title, but it was released in the 60s, and they just happened to throw in the original 16-inch jacket with it. I didn't pay a lot for it. I wouldn't for a lacquer because, you know, you just can't play these like you can a record. But anyway, let's get back into it. So I had some time over the weekend, and I was cleaning up 3 brand new records, and I had bad luck with 3 in a row. And you can probably guess what plant it came from, and I hate to continuously rag on this plant, but I was so frustrated with this. So the plant in question is United. So first record that I picked up off the bat was Grant Green's I Want to Hold Your Hand. Now, this is not an essential Grant Green album, but it's a part of the Blue Note 75th anniversary issues, and so you know, I had to check it out. It was like 16 bucks. But the record is not in here, but take a look at this. Look at what the shrink wrap did. See that? This is why a lot of people recommend taking your records out of shrink wrap, because yes, it can cause your records to warp, and sure enough, that's what it did with the record. It made a nice bowl out of it, and so I had to put it in my vinyl flat and get it flattened up. So look, United, you know, you need to pay your people more so they don't over compress the records. This is just frustrating. I mean, I didn't pay a lot for it, but seriously, you can't, you know, shrink wrap these guys right. Now, just to go back to the lacquer now. Here is the record itself. This one actually came out okay, but it was bowed. But this is where you start to look at the interior surface of the record to see, okay, is this going to be a gauge on sound? And this is just kind of a video to show you what I saw. Move on to the next record. So the next record I grabbed to clean up is by Wolf Alice. Fantastic, brand new, well, relatively new band, by the way. This is a gatefold, also pressed at United. Now take a look at this. Take a look at the surface. You have an orange peeling effect, and you know, this is just, you know, there's no call for this. Now, you know, this is showing to me that their presses are operating off of a time-based cycle, and they're not accounting for the temperature. So, you know, this just reflects that they have an improper heat up, cool down cycle. So you should be seeing a mirror-like surface here, and you don't. And, you know, there's parts of non-fill here, and I mean, this is just ridiculous. Third record I go to, also pressed at United. Trombone Shorty for True. Good new jazz mixed with some soul. Yeah, there's a little bit of rap elements in here, but it's really good. Open it up, looked at it, United, and here's just the interior again. Again, you see the orange peeling effect on the interior of the Deadwax, and sure, that translates right to the sound of the record. So, a little bit frustrated by it. Now, a good lacquer, good pressing should mirror the lacquer exactly. Fourth record I grabbed, and this is kind of an interesting take. So, Barnes & Noble in the United States, they are getting into the audiophile pressing. And I found it fascinating because they just had their own little vinyl day. This is Ellington's Uptown. So, take a look at the loose bag. So, your audiophile pressings, they come in these nice loose bags. And where was this press? RTI, done by Ryan Smith at Sterling Labs. And just to show you the sticker here. Really kind of interesting that Barnes & Noble is getting into this, but yeah, just to show you the surface of this record. Now, this is the way the interior Deadwax should look. I mean, this is probably very close to the way the lacquer is. Since I'm on a Barnes & Noble kick, oh yeah, just to show you a couple of my other pickups which were exclusive to Barnes & Noble. So they did Howlin' Wolf Sun Sessions, so see, Barnes & Noble exclusive. This is just fantastic. A mix of stuff from the 50s, so 51 and 52. This one was pressed on blue vinyl, and at Palace no less. So Palace and RTI, they're just fantastic on blue vinyl. And then the third record, which was also a Barnes & Noble exclusive, was Dita Von Teese. Very interesting mix. I have no clue who pressed this at all. There's no real clear indication on the Deadwax, but they screwed up on the sides, and so they had to paste over on the stickers. It's on regular black vinyl, but nothing too impressive. So, am I off base for slamming United? Should I just let it go? I don't know. You know, if you spend close to $20, you know, it is vinyl. It's not a perfect medium, but you know, they can get better. I mean, they should just get a college intern and have someone do a Lean Six Sigma analysis on the plant and just look for improvements. Go to a temperature-based pressing cycle instead of a time-based. I know they want to crank out product, but you know, they're going to be doing better if they crank out quality product. I mean, they just acquired Bill Smith's custom presses out of California, so they have even more. So, more crap coming down the line? I don't know. Shoot me a comment. Tell me what you think. Have you had bad presses from the United? I think a lot of people had. What are your thoughts on it? Am I totally wrong? Please let me know. And thanks for watching.